Okay, cool. The first question is, what types of schemas do you use for a service-based website having a local business address? Is it okay to use local business schema on every page? And what should be put on landing page and what should be on a blog post? No, not actually. It should be whatever the actual landing page is for the location is where the local business schema should be. Or if you have separate location pages, like for example, if it was a multi-location business and you had multiple locations, each location would have its own local business schema that would be unique to that location landing page. Organization schema can go on the home page. If you need that, if it's just a local business and the homepage of the website is the landing page for the GMB, then you could just have local business schema on that. Again, this would be a perfect time for you to pick up Rob's schema architecture course, because that is going to be hands down the best training that you can get for schema. But that's what I would suggest as far as blog posts. You know, there is article markup, there's news article markup, there's blog article markup. So again, you can do separate schema for each blog post, which is what I would recommend that you do. And again, those are different types of schema. The thing is, you don't want to put any sort of one type of schema or structured data across every page of the site. Like I used to put organization schema across every page. And then I would have, even for multi-location businesses, local business schema on the location landing pages. But what happens is you ambiguate the schema types. Google doesn't know unless you structure the data correctly, which can be done. And I guarantee you Rob's course teaches that. Unless you structure or connect the data items correctly within the schema itself, then you can ambiguate what the main entity of the page is. So it's really important not to do that. You can still reference, like, for example, if you had a multi-location business and you had separate location pages, you can reference organization schema from the local business page, but it has to be connected properly within the structured data itself. And that's it's called connected data items. And that's something that, again, it's a more advanced kind of structured data technique. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's very difficult to do, because it will invalidate or throw errors, or you will just ambiguate the page and it'll end up doing more harm than good. So again, I would recommend that if you're going to be getting into doing schema, which everybody should, that you should pick up Rob's course, because that's going to give you the most thorough and in-depth training on schema that is available as far as I'm aware. Marco, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, you should have all of those schema types on the website. It's where they belong. That's the key. If you're going to be using a schema generator, it's what everybody else does. You're not going to differentiate your schema from anybody else's by simply using a generator. What we're doing with the course and what we're teaching in the Heavy Hitter Club is to go above and beyond the call of duty, so that you're then referencing. So if you start at the local business level, what you're actually doing is you're starting one level below, because that local business actually belongs to an organization. It's a sub. Your local is a sub organization of the organization, right? So your location is showing up a physical business or a branch of an organization. I think that's how local schema is defined. And so at the higher level, you have the organization, the parent organization for this local business, which is a way to start referencing your brand, your main entity, and your local business all as part of the same thing. So that when you bring in maybe another location, people are very short-sighted. So they never think that their local business will grow into anything other than a local business. And that's where you're going to stay. So you're going to pigeonhole yourself as that local business. But if you're starting out and your idea is always growth, and you know that you eventually want to be in a city, in a bigger city, it's close by, and you want to be there and you want to have a local business there also, well, now what you have your parent organization, and you're going to have two locations, which can each be a local business that are part of this bigger organization. And it's how you start referencing these things. I know if you guys see me on social media, I'm always being facetious with Rob. I'm always playing with him about how we're playing the Kevin Bacon game, 6 degrees of separation, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of I love bacon. you're always going to see me, but it's all the same thing. You have nodes on the web at each time you create a local business or an organization or whatever you do. And what you're doing is you're telling Google everything you can about this thing. The thing is a node on the web. The more you tell Google about this thing, the better that you define it, and the better that you tell Google everything that's related to this node. So you're going out and you're naming other nodes and you're showing Google how they all belong. It's the Kevin Bacon game. We go and we try to show how we relate to Kevin Bacon in 6 hops or less, 6 degrees of separation. That's what we do when we play the game, however it is that you play it, right? You can make it harder, 4 degrees of separation in 4 hops. However it is that you do it, that's exactly what you're doing. And this is how you should be kind of thinking about schema. So how then do I reference this local business? How do I make it part of the organization? Or how do I show Google that the organization is actually the parent of this local business, and then how this web page fits in, and how this article fits in, and how my images and my videos and everything else? Well, it's all done through schema, because Google wants to see the structured data. The bot can only read the structured data. It can go into your content and pick out entities. I understand all that. And we work content in a way where we push the entity into Google. But the best way to do it is through the code where Googlebot is specifically coded to go and read the JSON plus LD code. So if you have that advantage over everybody else, or if you can have it, why would you not go above and beyond what everybody else is doing? Stop using that Yoast garbage that everybody else is. Stop using just web apps or whatever else. Now take that framework and develop it. Because I've seen people commenting on his course that have gone from 20, 30 lines of code to 250 lines, and they're just getting started. I've seen Rob write thousands of lines of schema, where everything references everything, and he pushes everything into everything. Once you start doing this, it becomes a game, and it can become endless, and you have to find a way to stop at some point. But what I'm telling you is, there's a way to do schema. Rob has changed the game on how schema is done. Go find him on Facebook, Rob Beal. Schematic is the course. Pick it up, do yourself a favor. Stop using the same garbage that everybody else is.